Viewers, I'm entering the grenade firing range and these are the grenade bays. What you have here is an HE-36, a high explosive 36 grenade, which is the standard issue grenade of the Indian Army. And these are the parts of the grenade. This is the outer body which has the explosive inside, and this is the pin. You might have seen this in a lot of movies. You take this out. Normally the hero in the movie will use his teeth to take it out, but it's not done that way. It's taken out with your finger. This is the lever here, and this is the base plug which has the firing mechanism inside. So I'll just show you. This one is not primed for obvious reasons, for safety reasons, but this is where this thing is put, the mechanism is put. You shut this, and the way to do it is simple. You hold it like this, you take out the pin, you throw the grenade, and you can take out the pin and keep the lever depressed and the grenade will not fire. It's only when you leave the lever, there's a ping sound, 4 seconds later there is an explosion. A grenade is used much like an area weapon, in the sense that I'm using these terms very loosely, viewers. When there is a cluster of people and you want to engage a cluster of people, so you throw a grenade, it has a elimination zone or a destruction area of approximately 8 meters, and this is how it functions. You pull the pin out, you throw the grenade, and then there is destruction all around. We're going to see a live demonstration of how the grenade is actually fired, like we say in the Indian Army, Tartib Var, as per the drill. Let's go.
Ara, Nili question. Grenade. Question tayar. Ready. Throw grenade.
So viewers, we are here on the grenade firing range. This one obviously is a blind, it did not explode. I have with me here Major Soumya from the Assam Rifles. Major Soumya, welcome to Patriot.
Thank you.
And she is going to explain to us what is to be done in such a situation where a grenade does not explode. Let's talk to Major Soumya.
Yes, now you can see that it's a
Yeah.
blind grenade.
Yes.
During firing, it happens that due to some errors or defects in the grenade, it doesn't blast. We have to demolish it in situ for the safety purpose of our men.
Okay.
We have trained instructors and soldiers with us who will demolish this grenade with some explosives and charges.
Okay. Viewers, as Major Soumya explained to you, this grenade due to some defect has not blasted, and it has to be destroyed in situ, which is it has to be destroyed where it is right now. So we'll have a couple of instructors come in here, they'll blast it using plastic explosives, and it's going to happen. We'll show you this live. All right then, let's go.
Anglo-Burmese war we talk about the World War II. There was a requirement that we went inside the enemy territory, our adversary, deep into the terrain, see his lines of communication, see his lines of supply, cut them and hit him hard where it was required. And that is how we have been functioning. The history is testimony to that. What was the requirement? The requirement was the soldier is always fit for the deep infiltration back inside the enemy lines, and therefore there was a requirement of training our men, whether it was day and night. It was a requirement of training them hard and hard. So there was a 10 km, 20 km and all long route marches where a soldier can go. Not only he himself reach physically, but his weapon, his ammunition, his rations, his equipment also reach safe and sound at the pace where he was required to reach and give a punch where it is required. And it is a normal routine that every good unit and subunit is training people for that. Yes, that is our motto, and that is why we have been doing that. Long inside penetration into the enemy lines and hit him hard where it was required. We achieved it successfully, and I'm sure we're going to do it in future also.
Drill in army is an important bedrock of military training. The history of drill goes back to the World War era, wherein the contingents used to be taken from one field, from their camps to the battlefield. From there, the drill that came into effect. It is the bedrock of a soldier's training. It plays a vital role in building up his personality, the way he speaks, his body language. Routine of a soldier starts with drill and ends with drill. As part of the attestation parade in the training center here, the recruits who have completed their training for last 1 year are being trained for their passing out parade. Drill is something which has a continuous effect on the soldiers starting from his training days till the time he hangs his uniform. Drill is something which carries him along. Every activity is a drill for a soldier. Every facet of military training or military life includes drill.
Viewers, what you are seeing here is basic stalking. They learn how to move like animals. They're moving like cats here, slowly moving towards the enemy's objective. This is called stalking, where they are making no noise. They are silently moving. What is their aim? Their aim is to reach the objective, reach the enemy, find out information about the enemy, and slowly come back. These soldiers are unarmed, which means that they are not going to attack. They are simply going to find information about the enemy without making any noise. In the past, our soldiers have gone till 1 meter of the enemy, just a breath away from the enemy, and the enemy had no idea that our soldiers were there. This is how they are trained. They're moving like cats. This is Billi Chal. They're moving like cats, slowly and slowly, stealthily, moving towards the objective, moving towards the target, moving very, very close to the enemy. They will observe the enemy. They will watch the enemy. They will find out all about the enemy's movements, and then they will come back and report to their commanders. This is Billi Chal. Viewers, this is Cheetah Chal number 1 or type 1. They're walking or crawling actually on the ground like cheetahs. These people have the INSAS 5.56 mm basic rifle, and they're using their rifles to slowly and slowly crawl along the ground using elbows and knees. You will see that most of them are not allowing their bodies, the middle of their bodies, to drag along the ground, because that will cause sound, because it will cause friction. And they're avoiding that, and they're moving basically on their knees and on their elbows. This is Cheetah Chal number 1, and they're moving with their rifles, moving slowly ahead towards the enemy objective, towards where the enemy is. Look at them without a sound. There is almost no sound, and with a few years of practice, I can assure you, viewers, these guys, these very same people can get to touching distance of the enemy, and the enemy will not know. That is what forces like Assam Rifles, who have spent their entire lives, entire tenures in counterinsurgency operations. That is what they do. They become so adept at living in the jungle, so adept at working quietly, without a sound, without noise, is that they can reach up and literally touch the enemy, tap the enemy on the shoulder, and the enemy will not know who's coming. Viewers, this is Cheetah Chal type 2. If you look at this, how is it different from type 1? Here, they're putting their knees and literally dragging their bodies forward. This is for different circumstances. This is a different kind of movement. Just look at their movement now. I want you to observe this movement. Now, what they've done is, they've put both the elbows forward, and now they're pulling their bodies ahead. 2 elbows forward, pulling the bodies ahead. This is the slowest, but also extremely stealthy, because the moving parts of the body are few. There are only actually 2 moving parts of the body. They're not using, except for maybe the toes of their boots, they're not using any other part of the body. They're just using 2 elbows. And with the help of 2 elbows, they'll go right up to where the enemy is, very silently, very effectively. All these type of chals, all these kind of movements are frequently used in forces like the Assam Rifles, even in the Indian Army, to train the soldiers how to move stealthily, because in CI ops or in the fog of war, sound can mean death. If you make a sound, you could be shot. The best thing is to move silently. Also used to gather information about the enemy. These are various kinds of movements which are being taught to these soldiers. This is Cheetah number 2. Viewers, I'm here at the rock climbing face which has been constructed here. The Assam Rifle soldiers are being taught the basics of rock climbing, and with me I have Major S.S. Dadwal, who's their instructor. I'm going to speak to the Major here, and then he's going to tell you what this is, what it entails, what kind of training is this. But let's first speak to him. Major Dadwal, welcome to Patriot.
Thank you, sir.
And thank you so very much for being a part of our show. It's indeed a pleasure.
Thank you.
So tell me, Major Dadwal, how long have you been here in the Assam Rifles?
From 2016 April onwards, I am posted here in ARTCS.
All right. And which regiment are you from actually?
Otherwise, I belong to infantry. I am from Tujat.
You're from Tujat Regiment. Excellent. So here we have a structure in which you're teaching them rock climbing. It's almost a vertical structure and then it gets inverted, making it more difficult. So what are you going to show us? What are you going to show our viewers today here?
See, the purpose of this training is, as we all know, like the terrain in Northeast is almost mountainous or jungle.
Yes.
And to operate in such kind of terrain, lot of mental fitness and physical fitness is required. Keeping all this thing in mind, rock climbing has been formed in or inculcated into the training and form part of the curriculum activities
So
of
tell
the
me, does everybody do it or selected people do it?
everybody who is doing training here
Yes.
has to do this.
So all the recruits who train out of here,
They have
you
to
give
do.
them some level of expertise of rock climbing,
Yes,
right? So Major Dadwal, can we start?
yes,
Please. So this is the safety harness
yes.
which they have, and now they're going to attach the carabiner. So Major, what are they doing now? Tell me.
They're
What is
checking whether the safety harness is
Strong enough? or
strong
not?
enough to hold them or
Alright.
not.
All right.
Now they've started climbing. As you can see, there is lot of eye and hand coordination is required while doing this, and lot of upper body strength is required to do the.
Absolutely. I mean, these guys must be having very powerful shoulders, because I saw the soldier on the left. He's literally pulling himself. It's like doing a complete pull-up. In fact, that guy is using a lot more skill, and this guy is using a lot more muscle power, I think.
This is a rock face.
Yes.
Otherwise, while doing an operation, like whenever they face a rock face, while doing an actual operation,
Yes.
lot of planning is required. What all things need to be kept in mind is where the individual can find a grip to hold on, at what level he can reach.
Yes.
So after doing this, lot of determination is required. The main purpose of the rock climbing is the aim is to achieve physical endurance,
Yes.
the mental strengthening, the agility, the flexibility, and it is also like the individual can also overcome the fear of height.
Yes, that's very important. So you're saying that all recruits who are here, who pass out, have at least this level of skill, minimum.
Before they are posted to
They are
their
posted to the
units,
battalions.
so that they are well versed with the nitty-gritty of the rock climbing,
Okay.
and they are the upper body is
Strong enough.
to do that.
So upper body strength, hand-eye coordination, mental robustness, physical fitness, and also the fear of height should go away. Vertigo has no place in there, because they will be operating at heights also. Viewers, today I have with me Major Dahiya, who's from the Assam Rifles, and he's an instructor in the counterinsurgency and jungle warfare segment that he teaches here to various recruits and other people who come here. Now, we have a very interesting thing in front of us when soldiers are deep inside the jungle, when there is nothing to eat. How do the soldiers survive? Major Dahiya will tell you that. Major Dahiya, welcome to Patriot, and thank you very much for being part of our show.
Sure.
So, first of all, tell me something about yourself. I've already said that you're part of the counterinsurgency and jungle warfare teaching here. You teach that, you're the instructor.
Yes, sir.
What all is comprised of this? What all do you teach?
So basically, if we look at the terrain here
Yes.
in northeast, it's completely jungled and mixed with the semi-mountainous terrain.
Okay.
So the operations in these areas against the insurgent groups are slightly prolonged,
Yes.
as anticipated. Generally, we go for 72 hours, then it is extended for 96 hours or more.
Yes.
So we teaches our soldiers percolated down to the lowest level, that how to survive on the land, living of the land concept.
Yes.
So whatever the things are available in this jungle,
Yes.
whether it is any type of a tree, any type of a bush, or any type of a living animal, what all things the soldier should take, and what all things he can't take.
He can eat to survive.
Yeah,
And
yes,
what he should
basically,
avoid.
What he should avoid. So
Yes.
basically, this is that type of a training, and we teaches them here in the school.
Okay.
We go in a jungle and we do the live, training on such aspects, which the things which are laid in front of you. These are being taken from the jungle, and they are being
Alright.
prepared just a few minutes back.
So, Major Daya, you spent how much time here in the school?
I almost spent 1.5 years here in the school.
Okay.
I'm on deputation here from
Yes.
Army.
Army. And you're from which unit otherwise?
I'm from 17 Jammu and Kashmir Light Infantry.
Okay, 17 Jacklight.
Yes, sir.
All right, excellent. Now, this looks like a very interesting menu, and I've never eaten these things in my life. What are these things? Major Daya, can you tell us from here? I think this looks slightly safe. This looks like some vegetables, I think.
These are all vegetables. These are the different type of bushes, different type of, and it varies from season to season.
Okay.
In one season it might be available, in another season it might not be
available.
because in the depends upon the vegetation available in
Yes,
the jungle.
absolutely.
These all are leaves and small bushes. These all are very I can say tasty also, and very nutritious food.
Okay.
You can survive with this amount of food.
Yes.
You can survive at least a day. This
Oh.
is that much of nutrition provides you. This is papaya.
Okay.
This is papaya. This has been boiled, and it gives a lot of water intake also inside an individual.
Fresh water is something that you require because
Yes,
humidity,
because-
you keep on sweating.
Yes,
You need water.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
These all are the forms of vegetation. This is a type of a bamboo with the help of a bamboo.
Yes.
And it is rich in protein. And
All this looks like palak, but this is not palak, right?
no, this is not. All these are
Looks like
different
spinach.
type of
Yeah.
different type of vegetation,
Vegetation.
and have a different characteristics.
They're
and
basically wild.
they are all wild.
All wild.
They are all
You
wild.
go to the jungle, you
yes,
eat wild stuff.
Yes.
Yes.
This is with the help of a bamboo. This has been, this is rice. This is a recipe. This is how to
Cook rice.
cook rice in a
Yes.
bamboo.
Yes.
So if we don't have, we have a raw rice, and how to cook it
Okay.
with the help of a only we don't have any utensil and all. Then you can do that. This is egg. How to boil an egg with the help of a you take a earth, some of the excavation,
Mud.
and you mud, and you put on it,
Yes.
and then you boil, not boil exactly, you keep it in a fire.
Okay.
That's it. And
Okay.
it gives a good effect. Like I'll show you.
So you can boil the egg also.
Yes, you can see it's a boiled egg.
Oh, it's boiled from inside.
Yes, you can eat it also.
Okay, so this is a boiled egg. Excellent, excellent. You can just show it here for the audience. Guys, this is a boiled egg, and they've boiled it without water. What they've done is taken the egg, put some mud around it, and chucked it into the fire, and it comes out as a boiled egg. Excellent, yeah, fantastic.
These are some local fishes which are available here in some of the water bodies.
Yes.
And you can see these are some worms which are generally you will find in a special, there is a special tree here.
So these
type
are
of a
worms?
tree. Yeah, these are worms.
These are cooked?
These are not cooked.
These are live.
Yes, you can eat them also. You can eat them also.
Okay.
So it depends upon your this thing.
Upon your taste.
Yes.
What
type
you
of-
want to eat.
What you want to eat.
Excellent.
This is a specific type of a fish which is generally found in northeast only.
Okay.
And in this type of a jungle, and it is very good.
Yeah.
It is cooked. I can show you one of the live fish also, how we take it. One of our buddy, he will show you.
Okay.
You can consume it any it solves two purpose. It gives you water content. It gives you protein.
He's basically drinking blood.
Yes.
इसका टेस्ट कैसा है?
ऐसे
अच्छा।
खून है
खून है।
मीठा मीठा टाइप का, मतलब खाता क्या बोलता है, नमक टाइप जैसा।
नमक टाइप का है. Very good, viewers. This is what these guys do inside the jungle. He's eating it. It was live 2 minutes back. In fact, this part is moving. It's I think still has some life. तो इसको आप खा जाएंगे पूरा?
पूरा मतलब
जितना खा सकते हैं खा लेंगे.
हाँ।
So that is what they will do, and this gives them water. It gives them, that nutrition, and they eat that, and that is how they survive in the jungles, because they might have to be in the jungles for a week or so. After some time, the ration finishes. Like to eat in the jungles, apart from the wild berries, apart from the vegetation. So Major Daya, this is part of the teaching, and this is what they actually do, and they actually.
It has to be done practical because it is, as it is looking very simple, it is not that simple.
Yes.
You know, it has to be taught to an individual.
Yes.
Like what all things are, good for his health,
Yes.
what all he should not, consume during his move in the jungle.
He could by mistake consume something that is poisonous.
Yes, especially. So practical aspects of it has to be, taught and, on a day-to-day basis.
Viewers, you just saw one soldier eating a fish raw. Now you have silkworms here, which are a great source of protein. And I have my friend here, Singfo. Singfo is going to take a live silkworm and eat it. ये जिंदा silkworm है. Singfo, इसका टेस्ट कैसा लगता है?
टेस्ट में कुछ नहीं है सब, नमक समक ऐसा कुछ नहीं है,
ये पनीर जैसा है.
पनीर ऐसा.
Okay, this is the jungle warfare version of the paneer, because he said it's like paneer, it has no taste, but it's great in terms of protein. Major Daya, I think
Yes,
they have great
it's a
protein
great
component, right?
3 to 4 earthworm sufficient for one meal.
One meal.
One meal.
Or four of these
Yes.
worms or silkworms.
Yes.
You
Yes.
have 4 of them, and that is sufficient for one meal.
Sufficient.
असम राइफल्स के सिपाही देश के हमने शान बढ़ाई, असम राइफल्स के सिपाही देश के हमने शान बढ़ाई, भारत की रक्षा हम करते जो दिन से हम कभी न डरते, भारत की रक्षा हम करते जो दिन से हम कभी न डरते, हर आफत से हमें लड़ते सीमा पर हम जीते मत, हर आफत से हमें लड़ते सीमा पर हम जीते मत, भारत के हम रखवाले, भारत के हम रखवाले, असम राइफल्स के सिपाही देश के हमने शान बढ़ाई, असम राइफल्स के सिपाही देश के हमने शान बढ़ाई, हर जवान है योग्य सिपाही, हर मोर्चे पर लड़ी लड़ाई, हर जवान है योग्य सिपाही, हर मोर्चे पर लड़ी लड़ाई, हर दुश्मन ने मुंह की खाई शान असम राइफल्स की लड़ाई, हर दुश्मन ने मुंह की खाई शान असम राइफल्स की लड़ाई, भारत के हम रखवाले, भारत के हम रखवाले, असम राइफल्स के सिपाही देश के हमने शान बढ़ाई, असम राइफल्स के सिपाही देश के हमने शान बढ़ाई, न्याय मन को चाहने वाले धीरज से टकराने वाले, न्याय मन को चाहने वाले धीरज से टकराने वाले, पर्वत को बढ़ाने वाले, यारी पर मिल जाने वाले, भारत के हम रखवाले, भारत के हम रखवाले, असम राइफल्स के सिपाही देश के हमने शान बढ़ाई, असम राइफल्स के सिपाही देश के हमने शान बढ़ाई, आंधी आए या भूचान, आए बाढ़ या पड़े अकाल, आंधी आए या भूचान, आए बाढ़ या पड़े अकाल, से भारत रहते हर हाल हम भारत माता के लाल, से भारत रहते हर हाल हम भारत माता के लाल, भारत के हम रखवाले, भारत के हम रखवाले, असम राइफल्स के सिपाही देश के हमने शान बढ़ाई, शान बढ़ाई.
Viewers, you just saw this very, very fine Assam Rifles song. But who says that soldiers can't have fun? Who says that musicians don't wear the combat dress? Ladies and gentlemen, it's my proud privilege to present to you the finest musicians of the Northeast.
रंग